Good morning, dear students, to your English class. Today we will learn chapter 3.4 Leisure. This is a poem by William Davies. Today we have a very beautiful poem. It talks about how we must admire beauty of nature in our free time and the lovely blue skies and watch the animals run and play. Okay? Now I want to look at this picture at the background. These are activities which you must be doing in your free time, right children? Like watching TV, you go to movies, play video games, listen to music, reading some storybooks, novels, encyclopedia, surfing the internet, playing a musical instrument, going shopping out, or nowadays you do online shopping, then playing sports, outdoor sports, indoor sports, spending time with family, and going out with friends. These are all the activities you are doing now with your friends and family. This is what you do in your free time. Free time is also called as leisure time. This is a very interesting poem. I am sure you are going to like it. Let's go ahead. Let's do an activity called as leisure activities. What hobbies or what do you like to do in your free time? What do you like, children, to do in your free time? Tell me. Do you like to watch TV? What do you watch on TV? Do you listen to the radio or podcast or on your mobile? Music? Do you like to read books? Read papers? Play outside? Play some indoor games? Play basketball? Play a musical instrument like guitar, piano? Do exercise, aerobics, Zumba, swimming? Do you go for swimming? Do you like swimming? Do you like gardening or surfing the net or finding information, doing projects, activities? Do you like writing, poems, letters, collecting stamps, coins, or do you like to just relax? What do you like to do during your free time? Please tell that in and write it down. Now let's go to reading of the poem. I want you to listen attentively and read along with the poem.
Hello children, today I am going to teach you the poem Leisure, written by William Henry Davies. First I want to tell you about the poet William Henry Davies. He was born in Wales in the year 1871. He was a poor man. He wrote many poems based on his experience as a tramp, and he died in the year 1940. First of all, I want to recite the poem for you. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows, no time to see when woods we pass, when squirrels hide their nuts in grass, no time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night, no time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this is full of care. We have no time to stand and stare.
So this is the poem, children. I hope you have liked reading the poem. Now let's go ahead. Let us see what's the meaning of the word leisure. As you have seen previously, different activities are there which you do in your leisure time. Now let us find out what is the meaning of the word leisure. Leisure is the time when you are not working and you can relax and do the things that you enjoy. It is freedom provided by the cessation, means stopping of activities, especially time free from work or duties. Example, drawing, singing, reading, dancing, cooking, going for picnic, playing games, etc. So this is the meaning of the word leisure. Now let us learn about the poet William Henry Davies. This is a photo of him, a real photo of William Henry Davies. Let us learn about him.
We are going to read the poem Leisure by William Henry Davies. It is one of the very beautiful poems in English literature. William Henry Davies, he was a wandering poet and singer. He led a life of loneliness, and his poetry is marked with truth and simplicity in ideas as well as the language. He wrote with great simplicity about the countryside, daily life experiences, and the poor. This poem, Leisure, it is published in his book Songs of Joys and Others. The poet has based this poem on his personal experiences. He thinks that one is so busy in coping with daily routines of life that most of the time the beauties and the joys of life, they are ignored.
So you have learnt about the poet William Henry Davies. Now let us listen and read and understand the explanation of the poem on your screen. Okay? This poem is explained in 4 parts. The first part is introduction. Then we come to the first stanza, second stanza, third stanza. Okay, children, pay attention very nicely. I want you to understand this beautiful poem.
Leisure, it means free time, spare time, time which is spent away from business and from work in domestic chores. It is also the periods of time which we have before or after certain important activities. The progression of science and technology, it has made man a machine. We have become slaves of time. We have no time to enjoy the beauty of our lives, and we have no time to go back to our basic roots. We have become kinds of puppets in the hands of our daily preoccupations. A man has become a prisoner of self in his daily routine. The people in the modern age, they are crazy about their worldly goals. This poem, it is a kind of a protest against the unnecessary commitments in our own lives. We are always in a hurry. We have no time to look around and to enjoy the beauty spread around us. Now, leisure, it is a truly incredible, timeless classic. It has the humbling theme of nature's supremacy forever. Now, Davies, he was scared of industrialization and its impact on humanity a century ago. Remember that this poem was printed in 1911. He could have perhaps imagined or foreseen that this kind of life, it will turn into a kind of a dragon and eat up everything. And this giant of globalization, it has killed all the pleasures in the life of today's man. Man's miserable life today, it brings nothing but sadness and worries. If a man slows down to enjoy nature, the life would become more meaningful. The title, as leisure, it suggests it is about the availability of time so that we can enjoy various small delights of life. These may range from most ordinary everyday pleasure to the extraordinary events. The poet is lamenting over the rush and hurried manner in which we are spending our lives. We have deprived ourselves of the richness and diversity present around us. The poet believes that life must be enjoyed in a very casual, in a very carefree manner. Over here, the poet is talking about the biggest problem of our lives today. Everyone is preoccupied, everyone is busy with their day-to-day work so that we may achieve the larger objectives in our life, that we are forgetting to notice the smaller things which bring pleasure to us and the happiness that we can derive out of those small things. Human beings, in fact, they today are similar to a machine. They get up at a fixed time with an alarm clock, take their breakfast, go to their schools and colleges at a fixed time, take their lunch, then come home, get into more activities. But remember, they are running around the clock without stopping to enjoy any kind of pleasure or leisure. They don't even have separate time for their families now. Can such an individual be called a human, or shall we call such a person a machine? We need time to take advantage of our free time to live a better lifestyle. We should appreciate the beautiful things around us. We should use our leisure time more creatively to strengthen our minds and to strengthen our hearts. Life is transient, and what we have today may disappear tomorrow. So appreciate what we have today. Appreciate people, appreciate animals and things, even though they are small and simple. As Lord Byron says, there is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. There is society where none intrudes, by the deep sea and the music in its roar. I love not man the less, but nature more. Now we are going to look at the first stanza of the poem Leisure. Full of care means full of worries. Stand and stare is the free time to look around. Beneath means under, and boughs, they are branches of trees. In these lines, the poet bewails our rushed lives. The poet says that we cannot call this life a pure life, as it is full of worries and anxiety. We have no time to stand at a certain place and look carefully around us and look at nature. Even we cannot spare a few moments to stand under the green branches of a tree and enjoy the beautiful and restful shades of these trees. The common animals, like sheep and cows, in poet's opinion, they are better than us. We cannot look at life like these animals grazing in the pastures. We have committed ourselves so much to the worldly affairs that we have forgotten to enjoy the beauty of the nature around us. He is giving very simple examples so that we may appreciate the beauty of nature which is all around us all the time. W.H. Davis, he begins by questioning the purpose of life, which is so much full of worry that it does not allow us to simply stand still and watch the time and life and world go by. We are multitasking all the time. He describes that people are not able to do so just because of lack of leisure. Sheep and cows, they can stand still in vast green pastures and they can stare at the beauty around them. But a human being is so busy that he does not have even a moment to spare to look around and to contemplate on the beauty of the nature. The poet expresses his grief at the fact that modern rush of life has deprived us of many commonplace pleasures. We run after more material pursuits. We get so crazy about it that we cannot even think, or we have no time to relax. He warns us that if our life remains full of worries and problems with no opportunity to enjoy its simple pleasures, it will be a very miserable life. Now we are going to look at the second stanza of the poem Leisure. Broad daylight, it is in the bright light of the day. Beauty is loveliness personified as a beautiful lady. Glance is to just take a quick look. The poet says that human beings cannot see the beauty that is hidden in the flowing streams. We are ignoring the beauty of natural sights. During daytime, when the rays of the sun, they fall upon the clear water of these brooks and streams, the water is reflecting and shining just like stars at night. Sometimes the water of these streams, it is so clear that you can see the stones and the fish and the life underneath the water. In daylight, these streams, they appear to be sparkling just like stars on a dark night. And this sunshine has made the water look like stars. One thing of beauty in nature is enhancing the beauty of the other thing. But human beings, they fail to enjoy this. The poet regrets that the modern man is so busy in this world that he does not have a time to see the beauty personified in the form of a young girl who is dancing in a rhythmic manner. A man does not stop even to look at that child and the way to appreciate her dance and her smile. Such beauties of nature, they are missed by people of today's world as they are overburdened by anxiety and we are living a life of haste. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. This has been said by Albert Einstein, who, being a scientist, was able to appreciate the beauty of nature. The God Almighty has created this world with beautiful objects of nature for man so that we may recognize our Creator and praise Him. He personifies beauty. This dance of beauty, it resembles chirping and movements of birds, blowing of soft breeze, swaying of leaves, and the flowing of rocky streams. Beauty of nature, it has a calming and soothing effect on human minds and souls. As the poet says, as long as I enjoy beauty, as I love beauty, I'm young. But we have become dull and imaginative. We are spending miserable lives. Now the stanza 3 of the poem Leisure. Enrich is to make more beautiful, and poor life is basically a miserable life. Now the poet says, we are very unlucky that we cannot watch a child who is dancing in the field. The feet of that dancing girl are very attractive and bewitching, but we cannot spare time to look at her. This dancing girl amuses us with her performance. The poet mourns that we have no time to wait for the words of the dancing girl. A smile has appeared in her eyes, but we cannot wait for such times as the words from her eyes reach her lips. These words may give us a lot of happiness. The poet has used the technique of personification to explain the natural beauty all around us. He has personified the beauty of nature as a young, beautiful dancing girl having a face full of smiles and happiness. The poet regrets, and he says that ours is a very poor and miserable life. In a way, it cannot be a life, as it is full of cares and worries. Unluckily, we cannot spare time to stand and look at nature carefully so that our minds are refreshed. Our life has become a lamentation through and through. As human beings, we should take out some time and look at nature and the beauty around us, because beauty is present in very small things around us all the time. Life should not be about working so much that we have no time to relax and enjoy the beauty. We are so caught up in our work routine and mundane schedule that we are unable to break away from our routines. We need to slow down and take a breath and look at the things around us, because life is passing very quickly and we must not miss anything. Sometimes our minds should be free of work stress so that we can enjoy the beauty and the little pleasures of life. We are so caught up in the ways of the world that we become emotionally blind to what is going on. We are not alert of our surroundings. We focus so much on the things that bring us trouble that we are unable to see the goodness of life around us. Life has become meaningless as we have not learned to set time aside for ourselves and for our families. Davis is of the opinion that if an individual is surrounded by material pleasures and has no time to enjoy these pleasures and the beauty of nature, he is living a miserable and meaningless life. Now the stanza 3 of the poem Leisure. Enrich is to make more beautiful, and poor life is basically a miserable life. Now the poet says, we are very unlucky that we cannot watch a child who is dancing in the field. The feet of that dancing girl are very attractive and bewitching, but we cannot spare time to look at her. This dancing girl amuses us with her performance. The poet mourns that we have no time to wait for the words of the dancing girl. A smile has appeared in her eyes, but we cannot wait for such times as the words from her eyes reach her lips. These words may give us a lot of happiness. The poet has used the technique of personification to explain the natural beauty all around us. He has personified the beauty of nature as a young, beautiful dancing girl having a face full of smiles and happiness. The poet regrets, and he says that ours is a very poor and miserable life. In a way, it cannot be a life, as it is full of cares and worries. Unluckily, we cannot spare time to stand and look at nature carefully so that our minds are refreshed. our life has become a lamentation through and through. As human beings, we should take out some time and look at nature and the beauty around us, because beauty is present in very small things around us all the time. Life should not be about working so much that we have no time to relax and enjoy the beauty. We are so caught up in our work routine and mundane schedule that we are unable to break away from our routines. We need to slow down and take a breath and look at the things around us, because life is passing very quickly and we must not miss anything. Sometimes our minds should be free of work stress so that we can enjoy the beauty and the little pleasures of life. We are so caught up in the ways of the world that we become emotionally blind to what is going on. We are not alert of our surroundings. We focus so much on the things that bring us trouble that we are unable to see the goodness of life around us. Life has become meaningless as we have not learned to set time aside for ourselves and for our families. Davis is of the opinion that if an individual is surrounded by material pleasures and has no time to enjoy these pleasures and the beauty of nature, he is living a miserable and meaningless life.